Hello, today we're going to do lesson 3, which is just a review on subtracting. I know you guys know how to do it. The main thing that you have to remember is that you have to align each number or each digit with the place value. So we start by passing this horizontal subtraction to a vertical subtraction. And then remember that what you want to do is you want to subtract the top minus the bottom, or the bottom from the top. Now, we can't do 2 minus 7, so we're going to have to borrow. When we borrow, we take away 1 from the one on the left. So now instead of 3, we have 2 left. And then we pass 10 to the 2, so that's 12. So now we can do it. 12 minus 7 is 5. And then we have the same problem. 2 minus 5, we don't have enough to take from. So we borrow from the 4, and now that becomes a 12, which 12 minus 5 is 7. And then 3 minus 2, which is 1. And that would be the final answer. For example, 3.2 is exactly the same. Notice, though, that we're working with dollars and cents, so we have to think about the decimal place value as well. So $4 has 0 cents, and then 35 cents has to go in the decimal place. So we put it like that. If we put the 5 under the 4 or the 3 under the 4, we're going to have a problem. We have to do the right aligning so that it works correctly. Now we're going to do the same. We're going to borrow from here so that we can have enough. Now notice that when I take away from the 4, I have 10 here, but then I need to borrow from the 10 to give to this one. So now we're going to have 10 minus 5, which is 5, 9 minus 3, which is 6, and 3 minus 0, which is 3. Don't forget to put the dollar sign so that your answer is labeled. In these other examples, what we have is different addition and subtraction patterns that we have to solve. In this case, notice that we need to find A, and they're giving us 472 plus something, plus A gives me 628. If you remember, these two that are being added are called the addends. And then the one that gives us the answer, that's the total or the sum. Obviously, in an addition, the two addends are smaller than the total. So in order to find A, we have to subtract 628 minus 472 so that we get the other part that we're missing. If we subtract, again, we have to borrow here. So we'll have 5 left over and 12 here. 12 minus 5, minus 7 is 5, and 5 minus 4 is 1. So in this case, A equals 156. Same thing in this one. Notice that even though it's given horizontally, the M is one of the addends, is one of the parts that makes the total. So to find M, I have to subtract the 493 minus 257. So to do that, I'm going to do it vertically. And again, I'm going to have to borrow. So I'm going to borrow from the 9. Now I have 8 and 13 here. 13 minus 7 is 6. 8 minus 5 is 3. And 4 minus 2 is 2. Now go one by one. Don't start borrowing from this one if it's not necessary. Make sure that you borrow just from the one next to it. And if that's enough, then you don't have to worry about it. If you need to go to the other one, then you could keep going. In example 3.5, we have a subtraction. Now remember that in this case, since it's a subtraction, this is the biggest number. So this one minus this one is going to give me another part. So these two together add up to this one that is the biggest one. And so in this case, what we have to do is just subtract 526 minus 329, because 329 is one of the parts. So we can find the other part, which is x. If I subtract here, I'm going to have to borrow again. That's going to be 1 and 16. 16 minus 9 is 7. Then I have to borrow again. And that's going to be 11 minus 2, which is 9. And 4 minus 3, which is 1. It is very important for you to think about if you are given the total or if you're giving one of the parts, because then you can easily think we have to add or subtract. Let's look at this one. We have to find P. What is P? P is my total, right? That's the biggest number. And so these two parts together give me P. So if I'm saying that they together give me P, what I have to do is add. So 423 plus 287. In this case, when I add, it's 10 plus 1, and then 11, and then 7. So P equals 710. In all of these exercises, you can actually check your answer to make sure that you are correct. And what you do is you just substitute the value of P in here to make sure it's correct. So you say, okay, well, let's check if 710 minus 423 equals, question mark, because we're not sure, 287. So I do 710 minus 423, and I subtract. I take away 1 from here. That's 10 minus 3, 7. Take away 1 from here. That's 10 minus 2, 8. And 6 minus 4, 2. 287, which is what we have here. So my answer is correct. You don't have to do that checking, but it helps you to make sure that it is correct and that you will have your 100 in the quiz. All right, so these are the examples for this lesson. I hope you do great. Practice your exercises. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments so I can help you with another video.